I know a very large majority of the people that come and watch videos on my channel are modding their Rust servers. So this video isn't designed to leave out the vanilla server owners out there, because this information can be important to you too, especially if you're using plugins to moderate your server even though it's still on the vanilla list. So we all know and trust the website uMod.org. That's where we go and get most of our plugins, definitely most of our free plugins, because that's where a majority of the developers also put their free plugins. Did you know that that actually originated here at oxidemod.org? This used to be the website that we would go to in order to download all the plugins that you're now getting from uMod. And not that it's really relevant to this video, but everything that we used to get from the oxidemod.org website, we now get from uMod.org. And the plan is, I know that eventually, instead of using the Oxide platform to be modding our servers, they eventually want to shift us over into using what's called the uMod platform. Anyways, that is totally not the point of this video. I just wanted to give you a bit of backstory if you've ever wondered where the name Oxide came from. So essentially what I wanted to tell you today is that there's a new, I quote, new modding platform available out there. I put air quotes around it because it's not actually new. It's been right in front of our face for a very long time. And that's called Harmony. So you may have seen a folder called Harmony Mods in your server files. You go into that folder and there's literally nothing in there. So you probably just moved on and never gave it a second thought. But that's actually Rust's built-in modding platform. So that comes directly from Facepunch. It's built into the game. And even if you've never installed Oxide on your server ever before, you'll have that folder called Oxide Mods. And up until very recently, I actually didn't know that people were actually writing plugins to be used by the Harmony modding platform. Wow, was this the longest video hook ever? Hey everyone, welcome back to Rust Admin Academy, where I'm teaching you everything you need to know about owning and operating a successful Rust server. On this channel, I do plugin reviews and tutorials, plus I want to show you all of the pro tips that maybe you can't read by Googling it. So if you're brand new to the channel, consider subscribing so that you stay up to date on everything that we're working on. And of course, if you take any value out of this video, do me a favor, scroll down a little bit and hit that thumbs up for me. All right, so at the time of the recording of this video, there is very little information to be had about Harmony mods. What can we do with them? What can they do for our server? How do we work with them? All of these different questions. If you happen to be watching this video in 2043, then maybe we have a little bit more information than I do right now. But essentially what I wanted to do today is tell you that the plugins are available, they do work, and actually from what I'm seeing, they might even be a little bit more performant to the plugins that you might be used to using. So yes, there are some overlap plugins. There's some plugins from uMod that you might be able to replace with a Harmony mod. Don't quote me on that. Don't hold me to that. I don't know for sure if they're more performant. They just seem like they should be a little bit more performant. Basically because we're using a built-in modding platform that was designed by the makers of the game. Something to consider. While there might be more than just the one website that I'm going to talk about today that actually hosts Harmony mods, I'm going to direct you over to Lone.Design. I'll put a link in the video description down below. And you can actually search up Harmony directly on their website, and it's going to show you a list of all the plugins that they have available that are specifically designed for the Harmony mods platform. And while there's most certainly a lot of valuable plugins out there, granted, I don't know anything about any of them. There are some that I'm going to be exploring. So if I do come up with something cool that I want to tell you guys about, I'll be sure to make more videos on this topic. There's the local analytics plugin. It saves the built-in server stats to a file in your servers folder. Interesting. There's also an Oxide performance counter. Seems pretty self-explanatory. Don't know anything about it. Can't wait to try it. But the one that I know is going to interest some people is a plugin called Always Hotspot. This basically makes it so that when you're farming a tree or a node, it always hits that sparkly hotspot that we're all trying to hit. Basically taking away the necessity to be rotating around whatever it is that we're farming. So of course, at this point, you have to understand that I don't know everything that there is to know about Harmony mods. How are they going to manage their permissions? Are they going to have configuration files or data folders, similar to what we're seeing with Oxide mods or uMod mods? Or is it going to be a completely different setup altogether? So at this point, I don't have those answers, but as soon as I have them, so will you. So I'm just going to do a really quick demonstration on what to do with the plugin and then what to do after it's been installed. How do we actually activate this plugin? Oh, and it's also worth noting that all of the Harmony plugins that you find on Lone.Design, or at least all of the ones that I've found so far, they're all free. So we're just going to download this file directly from Lone.Design. So I thought I'd be doing this on my localhost server just to, I don't know, switch things up a little bit. So when you download the file directly from Lone.Design, it's going to come to you in a zipped folder. So we just simply need to extract it wherever we downloaded it. And then once we go into that extracted folder, of course, we're going to end up with the DLL, which is the actual plugin itself. So we can simply drag and drop this into our Harmony mods folder in the same location that our Rust server is actually hosted out of. And this is going to work the same way on a hosted server. This isn't just specifically for localhost. In fact, now that I'm doing it, I don't know why I didn't use my hosted server to show you this. So we can go into the Harmony mods folder, and of course, there's the plugin that we're trying out. But one thing you'll notice that as soon as you drag and drop that file into the Harmony mods folder, it doesn't automatically do something on our server. So as you can see here, I just tossed up a really quick vanilla server. Literally no Oxide, no nothing on this server. But now how do I actually make this plugin work? So the two commands that I do know of for sure right now are harmony.load and harmony.unload. That's literally all I know about commands usable with Harmony mods. So on our server console, we're going to do harmony.load followed by always hotspot using the same capitalization and syntax that the actual file has. And as always, spelling is very important, so make sure you confirm the spelling as you're loading any plugin. All right, so after playing around with this for a couple of minutes, obviously I've edited that part of the video out. So I dropped the file in my Harmony mods folder and then immediately went over to my console and tried to do harmony.load always hotspot. And it said that doesn't work, that it's actually looking for the file in a specified location. That specified location was Rust dedicated data and then plugins. So what I did then is drop the same plugin in this folder as well. And then I was actually able to do harmony.load always hotspot. So I don't actually know if this is because I'm doing this on a local host server, because when I did this exact same thing on a hosted server, I only had to put it in the Harmony mods folder like that, as you can see right there. And I've tested this one, so I know this actually works. All right, so just to show you my level of humility, even I don't have all the answers when it comes to Harmony mods. So neither one of those commands I was trying to use would actually work. So what I ended up doing was just fully restarting the server, and then that Harmony mod actually loaded, and now I can actually use it in the server. So now when I'm smacking a tree, you'll see that X, I'm always hitting the X, even though I'm not actually physically hitting the X. And I'm actually getting the rewards for hitting the X, even though I'm not chasing it around the tree. And of course, as you would expect, the same thing goes with nodes. So you can kind of see it sparking there every time I hit this node. Obviously, the spark isn't the most important part. The reward that you're getting for always hitting the spark, that's what matters. So as you can see, this Harmony mod is working. It functions exactly like I would expect it to. It's just the loading versus unloading that I'm maybe having some difficulties with right now. I was recently connected with somebody that knows very much the struggles that I'm going through right now and probably has the answers. Unfortunately, I don't have that information for this video. So as we move along in this process of developing Harmony mods, then of course I'm going to bring you that information as it becomes available. I know that restarting your server in order to activate a mod is not ideal, which is why I know those commands are there. Maybe I'm using them wrong. I'm not really sure. But the two times that I've actually loaded this plugin up, that's actually what I had to do on both of those scenarios. So more information is definitely to come on that. I actually feel like I'm giving you all just enough information to get you into trouble, and I'm not actually following it up with the answers to get you out of trouble, which kind of goes against what I'm trying to do at this channel. I wonder, am I shooting myself in the foot by putting this video out? I don't know, I guess we'll find out, right? Anyways, in order to make it so that my thumbnail is not clickbait, I have to actually answer the question. Is Harmony mods going to kill Oxide and uMod? And the answer to that question is, of course, no, it won't. Oxide is the base platform. It was worded to me just like this. Oxide is the brick and mortar foundation that we're going to build all of this other stuff off of. So no, I can't ever see a time where Harmony is more widely used or more accepted than anything that you're going to find on the Oxide platform. And yes, YouTube actually cares if you put a clickbait thumbnail on and you don't actually reference and respond to what you're claiming in the thumbnail. They can actually strike your video, not like an actual strike, but they'll make it so that nobody ever sees that video ever again. Anyways, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you learned something from this. At very least, I know that I showed you that there's different plugins out there that aren't using the Oxide platform. So that part's pretty cool. Basically, I'm begging you all for a like on this video because I know that I'm actually struggling with this category right now. Hopefully, we're going to have a ton more information in the very near future. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all next week.